We use many concepts of computational thinking to solve these problems. Specifically in part 1 for questions 1.1 up until 1.9, we used the concept of data representation and abstraction. This allowed us to extract the information we deemed necessary from the data frame and filter out the information which was not important. For example, this was shown in 1.1 and 1.2 whenever we used a dot shape function or the dot luck function to extract certain rows from the data frame. And also in 1.10, we use slicing to split the data frame as well.
For the question number part 2, we first defined different colors for the different genres that were the country and hip hop. Then we defined a function which could find the distances between the test song, which are in your eyes, to the songs within the training data frame. Then we even arranged the songs which were 7 closest to the test song. We even plotted a graph for that. Then we even used the mod function and so that we could find the specific genre of the song which was closest to that one, our test song.
And for part 3, we basically did what we did in part 2, except we made it into an algorithm and made it into a function. We found the distances of features and then we made that into a function. We found certain words using the occurrences, the data of occurrences that have words in one genre but not the other. Specifically hip hop and country, because we were trying to classify those two specific genres. And then in 3.4, we essentially made a code that will find genre and distances and made it into a data frame. And for 3.5, we took that data frame, found the smallest values, and classified that specific song using the dot mode function. And 3.6, we made it into a function, basically being able to put in specific data and having it shoot out a classification. And then we did that for the specific song and to find the index of this, I actually used this code. And in 3.8 and 3.9, we sampled 20 random samples and ran a testing classification and divided that by 20, the total of samples that we had, and that would be our proportion of 0.95. And then for part 4, we basically did the same, but with the new words of staff words, and we found that as 0.8% or not 0.8%, 0.8 correct. And then we determined that our features were better out of based on this specific outcome, and there's definitely randomness because certain words may not actually be accurate because of the data that we chose. As a team, on my part, I figured out the main logic behind each problem and use that logic to actually find a solution for that specific problem.
On my part, I helped to try to figure out some syntax and I also tried to help with the logic as well.
On my part, I took up with the troubleshooting part, and we even took help from some of the professor notes, and we try to cover the coding part, and that's how we worked as a team and completed this project.